Hello, it's Morgan. Welcome back to Stream Back on YouTube for Week 1 NFL predictions. As we get into it, we have 7 great games on the schedule this week, including a rematch of the AFC title game, a game that's in Brazil, and more with a playoff matchup from last year, a rematch from last year. So let's get right on into it in Week 1 NFL predictions right now for the 2024 NFL season. Let's go. As we get in back here, 2024 NFL season NFL predictions. Here we go. First game matchup. Rematch of the AFC title game in Kansas City on Thursday night between the Chiefs and the Ravens. Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. Two teams. Last year, which Ravens fell to the Chiefs in the AFC title games as the Chiefs went on to win their second straight Super Bowl and have now won 3 Super Bowl titles in the last 6 seasons. Could the Chiefs make it number 7 this year? We'll have to wait and find out. Long season, week 1, getting started in the matchup. Chiefs have a lot of great weapons. Travis Kelce included. Mark Andrews, tight end for the Ravens. Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, both of those two. Running backs, Isaiah Pacheco, of course, for the Chiefs. So many good players on these two teams. Question I have about this matchup is, last year I predicted the Chiefs to win an opening night against the Lions, and unfortunately I was wrong about that. As a Chiefs fan, hard to say what's going to happen this year. I think Lamar Jackson has a chance to prove, even though he's won an MVP in the league, I think he has a chance to prove that he can at least win on the road in Kansas City. So I'm going to go with the Ravens this week, surprisingly, because I do think the Chiefs come up short at home in week 1. Last year, the Chiefs' defense was not that good, and their offensive line was not that good either, but they still won a Super Bowl because of it. But I do think the Ravens will upset the Chiefs in a rematch of the AFC title game this week on Thursday night in Kansas City. So I'm going with the Ravens on Thursday night. Next matchup, going to Brazil, Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love, Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts, in a game that should be fun to watch. It'll be on Peacock on Friday night, first Friday night game of the NFL season, being after Thursday night's opener between the Chiefs and Ravens. This one's on Peacock for those of you who have the streaming service. In this matchup, unfortunately, I hear, I'm not sure whether it's going to happen or not. There's rumors it might get moved back to the United States because wildfires in Brazil. And the Eagles they're going to be wearing white jerseys with black helmets. Packers will be wearing their green and yellow home uniforms because the stadium they're playing at, the Eagles are the home team and the rival wears green and yellow. So the Packers are going to be the road team though, wearing their home uniforms. Crazy enough. The Eagles, one of those teams last year I thought could be a number 1 seed. I was wrong about that. Jalen Hurts, Jordan Love, you have 2 young quarterbacks, 2 young stud. Jalen Hurts, I think, this year for the Eagles. This is going to be the year, really, that will decide if he's going to win a Super Bowl in his career. I think it will be a year for him to come out. This is going to be a coming out party, playing the first game in a different country. I think the Eagles and Jalen Hurts get the job done, though, on Friday night. So I'm going to go with the Eagles here on Friday night. Next up, Sunday afternoon, New England Patriots, Jacoby Brissett, first-year head coach Darren Mayo, who was a former linebacker, and Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow, and the Bengals matchup this week on Sunday afternoon. This one's an interesting matchup because the Bengals are getting Joe Burrow, of course, back. So Joe Burrow coming back this week in his first game since early last season because he was hurt most of the season last year. For the Patriots, Jacoby Brissett, their starting quarterback this season, under first-year head coach Darren Mayo. Will the Patriots be good enough this year to make the playoffs? Will the Bengals be good enough to make the playoffs? Bengals, I said last year, were a team that could be 1, 2, or 3, did not make it, and so the Ravens were the number 1 seed in the AFC. Bengals finished 4th place last year, and so the Patriots. These are 2 teams that both want to come in and both want to win. I think Joe Burrow and the Bengals, though, this week get the job done at home on Sunday afternoon. So I'm going to take the Bengals and Joe Burrow this week. We'll see what happens there in Cincinnati on Sunday. Moving on to the next matchup. We have a wild card team from last year, Miami Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa, who's come back. And Jacksonville Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence, making his return to the field. For Jaguars, after not making the postseason last year. The Dolphins, the last 2 seasons for the Dolphins, and Tua Tagovailoa, they were one of those teams that the last 2 years have been a wild card seed, have to go on the road to places where they played on a cold weather atmosphere last year in Kansas City, the coldest playoff game ever. almost. And then the year before that, they played in Buffalo after a big snowstorm on us in the playoffs as well as wild card weekend, and they still didn't win either of those two games. I think this year, too, a tug of war on the Dolphins. This is going to be a year for the Dolphins to build on that for winning. For Trevor Lawrence, after missing postseason last year, this is a year for him to make a rebound and try to get the Jaguars back to the playoffs. Overall, I think the Dolphins might have a better team in this matchup. Playing at home in Miami, Jaguars going on the road just south down to Miami. Staying in state though, I think it's gonna be a good matchup for both teams. I think the Dolphins though get the job done. Tyreek Hill for the Dolphins wide receiver. I think he's gonna get a few touchdowns from Tua this weekend. So give me the Dolphins there at home this week on a Sunday afternoon. Next up, late Sunday, going to Philadelphia, Cleveland, Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott of the Cowboys going in to Cleveland, played Browns and Deshaun Watson this week on Fox. Also, Tom Brady, his premiere as a NFL broadcaster on Fox this week for this game. Cowboys, a team last year that won the division in the NFC East, over the Eagles. This matchup's going to be a fun matchup to see, an interesting one to see. The Browns and the Cowboys. Not sure how this one's going to shape up. Not sure who I think is going to win. The Browns are coming off a playoff matchup from last season, by the way, where I think the Browns, they look like a team. They could make the playoffs again, maybe, this year for a third straight season. But I'm not so sure about that. But we'll see. Cowboys, Dak Prescott there, trying to finish the ultimate goal. Like I said, in the preseason predictions, the Cowboys are just like the Bills fans. They finish well in the regular season, but they can't finish in the postseason. They know how to finish regular season, but can't finish postseason. Cowboys and Dak Prescott, I think this year's going to be a big learning experience for him. This is make or break for him in his career to see if he actually can make it to the Super Bowl, make it deep in the postseason. So, but I do think the Cowboys, they'll go on the road this week to Cleveland, and I do think they pick up a win on Sunday. So I think the Cowboys in that one on Sunday afternoon in Cleveland, Ohio. Moving on. Next up, a rematch of the NFC divisional round. Rams, Matthew Stafford going back to Detroit to take on Jared Goff and the Lions. The guy who was traded for. And last year, when the Rams went to Detroit in the postseason, the Lions just played a great game last year. It was a really close game last year in the playoffs, if you remember that divisional round game. I think I predicted the Rams to win that matchup, but I was wrong on it, if I remember correctly. This year, I think it's going to be a game. The Lions still win this matchup, but I don't want to be wrong again. But I'm going to take the Lions and Jared Goff this week, just because I think the Lions are a good team. After winning the division last year in the NFC North, I think they win the division again. I think it's going to be between the Lions and 49ers in the NFC this year. Again, I think there's a rematch in the NFC title game this year. By the way, I did predict the Lions would be the number 3 seed this season a few weeks ago, last week. But I do think the Lions win this matchup and make it with a win against the Rams on Sunday. Moving on to Monday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers coming back from injury against Brock Purdy, 49ers, George Kittle, and Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, and more. Matchup that should be fun to see on Monday night. Of course, I'll say this. 49ers, one of my favorite NFC teams to watch right now, including the Bears, kind of. But George Kittle does love watching him at tight end, University of Iowa. So, great job there. Overall, the 49ers, Brock Purdy, he's a pretty good team behind him. A surrounding cast of characters on offense and defense. You have Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, all those defensive guys back there. Offense have pretty good players as well. Overall, this week, I think the 49ers definitely get the win against Aaron Rodgers and Jets. But I think it's going to come down to which team can play a good game and which team doesn't make mistakes. And I think the 49ers win on a last-second field goal on Monday Night Football. I think it's going to be close. I think Aaron Rodgers plays at least the whole game this week and doesn't get hurt, unlike last year on Monday Night Football in the opener. So, I'm taking the 49ers get the win on Monday night. As I got my predictions, real quick, recap who I'm taking. Starting out Thursday night in Kansas City for the defending champions, Chiefs and Ravens. I'm taking Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. On Friday night, I'm taking Jalen Hurts and the Eagles against the Packers and Jordan Love. On Sunday, I'm taking Joe Burrow against Jacoby Brissett and Jeremy and the Patriots. In Miami, I'm taking Tua Tagovailoa, Mike Daniel, and over Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. In Cleveland, I'm taking Dak Prescott and the Cowboys over the Browns. On Sunday night, I'm taking Jared Goff and the Lions over Matthew Stafford and Rams. And on Monday night, I'm taking Brock Purdy, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, and all the 49ers over Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. So there you have it, NFL predictions, week 1 in the books. That being said, hope you all enjoyed. If you did, like today's video, please remember to watch, like, subscribe. Don't forget to tell your friends as well to do the same if they haven't done so yet already. Also, don't forget to hit that notification button below. And also, don't forget to also comment below who you think is going to win this week, who your favorite team is playing as well, and if you think they're going to win this week as well. That being said, have a good day, stay safe, and peace out. I'll see you right back here, week 2, on Tuesday next week. See you then. Bye for now, and stay safe. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.